Hey guys. The spoilers for My Hero Academia manga chapter 352 is finally out. In this chapter, we see the continuation of the Todoroki sibling battle, which ends in an epic way. Without further ado, let's get down to the video. From the previous chapter, we see the fight between Todoroki and Dabi Flashfire Fist. Dabi attacked Todoroki, asking him how he got the patience to withstand everything. Calling him a worthless piece of fire and ice. Todoroki created a special move in order to defeat his brother. He tells him it was his choice to harm people who had nothing to do with his downfall. He attacks Dabi, telling him to take all his anger and frustration on them instead. Chapter 352 begins with a flashback of the students in the school dorms the night before the war started. Deku asked whether Todoroki will really fight his brother. Todoroki replies that it is his duty because he's not sure whether Endeavor will keep his word and allow him to face Dabi alone without his help. He said, Dabi is a reflection of the Todoroki family's sins. He shows the special technique he developed which makes his chest light up. Deku remembers the training he was doing, and Kaminari starts poking it, saying that it doesn't burn when he touches it. It's hard for Todoroki to keep focusing. He then explains that it consists of applying the properties of Flashfire Fist to both sides of his body simultaneously, using the heart as the center, making the hot and cold blood circulate throughout his body and come into balance. Midoriya says it's like a cold fire, and Todoroki begins to get lost in thoughts, saying that his father wanted a perfect son who could use ice to reduce the heat in his body. But in fact he is walking a path in the opposite direction. He has found a meaning to his existence, and because of this, he smiles at Deku. He said, "That's my power, thank you." We cut back to the present, with Todoroki using another special attack, freezing blow white blade of frosty fire. He says that this way maybe Dabi can cool his head a little. Dabi is thrown backwards by the impact, but shoots pillars of flame from his hands to balance himself. He analyzes the situation, seeing that Todoroki has a body strong enough to withstand the heat of his flash fire and produce ice cold enough to overpower his flames. But he doesn't stop for a second and already starts directing all these flames towards the ground. Todoroki realizes that he has lost focus and will need to prepare his attack again, but huge pillars of flame emerge from the ground. Dabi shouts that it is not possible to change the tracks of your life and that they represent the limit of superhuman society. The two are destined to follow similar paths. The flames start to bend, and we see that the three sidekicks are covered in wounds, but doing their best to alleviate the situation. They say they agree with everything Todoroki said and fall to the ground, causing him to apologize. They said, thanking or apologizing is a waste of energy. Even so, he shouts, "Thank you so much." We see a sequence inside Shoto's head, with him saying that he always thought he was a lonely existence because of his blood and his past. But after a while he realized that wasn't quite the case, that everyone was much closer than he imagined. We see a panel of many of the students facing him and many moments they experienced together as Todoroki concentrates all his power and remembers Mountain Lady's advice during the interview training. He propels himself forward and stops right next to Dabi, saying that it is possible to change the course of your life, no matter how difficult it may be, and tells Dabi to stop. The next page there is a huge sphere of light. Todoroki new technique. He calls it the Great Frozen Tidal Bore, and it is strong enough to freeze all the buildings and trees in the vicinity. On the last page we see two panels showing Todoroki and Dabi as children. They were both crying, while in the present the two are motionless.